Howdy. So, so today we're doing, kind of going back to our roots, and we are doing a style tasting, which is a little different because this is a style that we brewed, since we can't really find this in the stores around here. So we're tasting BJCP Category 27. So myself, Mike, and our friend John here all brewed one, and it was originally for the a competition, the Roggenbier competition, for our club, and we had exactly 3 entries. And you're looking at the entrance right now, so it wouldn't really be much of a competition. You know, I'd be guaranteed to be at least third, which is kind of, although
I got the bronze.
Once you guys taste it, be like, yeah, you came in 5th out of 3.
5th out of 3, yeah.
So I don't know, we'll see. But so we figured rather than going through that nut roll, we would just make a video of it and kind of talk about it with y'all.
Yeah, and try them. Yeah, and I was super excited to do a Roggenbier because people always talk about a spicy flavor from rye, and I don't think I've ever picked that up.
No.
So I was like, hey, if I can't pick it up in a 50% rye beer, then I don't know, maybe it's imaginary or there's something wrong with me.
Yeah, I don't know. I just had a rye IPA last night, and I could pick up a spice, but I don't know if that's because the brewer added other, certain types of hops or something like that to give it that spicy flavor, because, well, it's rye, it's supposed to be spicy. Didn't think to ask.
Yeah, a lot of the research I did said don't expect it to be rye bread.
Yeah,
It's a different type of spice to it.
Well, it's interesting because the category describes it as tasting like rye bread or pumpernickel. So, I don't know.
Interesting.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, it's not something you see on your average store shelf, so I've never seen one in the wild. So.
Yeah, I can't imagine this is really caters to the American palate.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's because you don't see a lot of rye bread in the stores, do you?
Sure.
So, John is a very excellent brewer from my experience. We were in a couple of comps, and he cleaned up. So, we're going to start with his beer, because I know my beer's not all that great.
Yeah.
And Jesse has suspicions of his own.
I'm pretty confident.
So,
and I mentioned the category, right? Category 27. All right. So, I'll talk about the history real quick. So, the history of Roggenbier is a specially German rye beer originally brewed in Regensburg, Bavaria. Never widely popular style, has all but disappeared in modern times. So, if you're familiar with BJCP style guide, 27 is historical beer, right? Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
And I'd heard that actually at one point, I'm not sure where I read it, but they said Roggenbier was actually really popular, but they had a shortage of rye, and to make sure they had enough for bread, they said no more rye beer.
That sounds
and that kind of killed it.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's true or not, but... So the overall impression of this beer is it's a Dunkelweizen made with rye rather than wheat, but with a great body and light finishing hops. And that's pretty much all we have.
It's not much to it.
So the appearance, light coppery orange to very dark reddish, coppery brown color.
And you nailed it on this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's definitely copper. Yeah. Yours is very nice and clear. I was expecting it to be a lot muddier and hazier than...
It's cleared up quite a bit, as I said in the keg. It kind of settled out a bit. Yeah. I've had it on for probably about 3 or 4 weeks now.
Yeah. Well.
So, large, creamy, off-white to tan head, dense and persistent, often thick and rocky. Yeah. And then also a cloudy, hazy appearance.
Oh. Just kidding.
Yeah, you nailed it. That's a great head on that.
No,
I mean, I had to agitate a little bit, but it's been sitting in the glass.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's great.
It's got legs and everything. It's sticking to the side.
Evidently, I skipped right over aroma.
Yeah, well, maybe it's coming later. Who knows?
Yeah. So the flavor of this beer is, well, you want to sniff it and we'll talk about aroma?
Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely bready and sweet smelling to me.
See, I'm getting like a spice. What kind of hops did you use?
Used Pearly.
Okay.
For both bittering and then a little bit as a flavor addition.
Okay. Yeah, and those aren't. I don't think those are spicy hops. Those are more noble,
earthy.
Right.
And as a bonus, John agreed to share his recipe, so we'll have a link to it down in the show notes. Okay, so flavor, it's going to be Grainy, moderately low to moderately strong spice rye flavor, often having a hearty flavor reminiscent of rye or pumpernickel bread. Medium to medium low bitterness allows an initial malt sweetness, sometimes with a bit of caramel, to be tasted before yeast and rye character take over. And low to moderate Weizen yeast character, banana or clove, although the balance can vary. And medium dry, grainy finish with a lightly bitter from the rye aftertaste. Low to moderate spicy, herbal, or floral hop flavor acceptable and can persist into the aftertaste. Thank God that's it.
Yeah, I was
man.
Flavor continued.
Oh,
Yeah. Maybe I should put 1 of 8. You know, so you know what's coming.
There's a lot
Yeah.
going on in
Yeah.
the spear, in other
Yeah.
words. Yeah.
So, I don't know that game. Banana, primarily clove. It's pretty light. Yeah.
So I did use the WP 300, so the Hefeweizen strain of yeast.
Mm-hmm.
I do get a little spice on the finish.
Yeah, see, I get the spice throughout. I mean, it's prominent in the finish, but I'm getting it throughout. Not a lot, but just a little bit.
A very nice balance to it. I mean, nothing's overpowering or nothing.
No, it was really good. Yeah, I think you checked all the boxes.
Yeah.
Moderate low spice, yeah.
That's pretty great.
Yeah, that's okay.
Well, thank you.
Man.
Appreciate it.
All right, yeah, no, that's quite good. Yeah, that's, like I said, checks all the boxes. Mouthfeel, medium to medium full body. I'd say this is solidly medium.
Yeah, yeah.
High carbonation. That's got a nice. That was something I was noticing as we're, drinking. It was kind of. It was
Well, it's
give it
creamy,
nice creamy.
too.
Yeah.
I mean, it's got a really nice mouthfeel.
Yeah, exactly.
And I know it. To me, it finishes really dry, which is nice. You get that fullness, and then it dries.
And then it
right
dries out. And you don't feel like you got moderately creamy. Yep. So yeah.
I think you nailed it, John.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think I'm going to come in at least third.
Fifth place isn't so bad. I'm happy with that.
So the vital statistics for this beer are it usually has an original gravity of 1046 to 1056, final gravity of 1010 to 1014. IBUs are generally 10 to 20, and the SRM is 14 to 19, with an ABV of 4.5 to 6%. So, and of course, we get no credit for the style descriptors. They're all from the BJCP guidelines. Okay. So I'm not sure if we should have started with the best one or the worst.
So,
I mean, I think it was good to have one that checks the boxes as we go through it.
Well, it's like I told you earlier. Is like I don't know if I made a bad Roggenbier or if I don't like Roggenbier. So I was like, no, I think I just made a bad Roggenbier.
It's kind of hard not having any kind of reference point.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So who do you want to go first next? You or me? I'm saying me.
Okay.
So my beer will be a distant memory when we get to yours.
Notice I'm saving some of John so I can
cleanse
my palate.
Me too. John should have done that. So I hooked up my keg to CO2, and I usually leave the keg unplugged from air for a day or two, and then I'll test it and see if it's still holding pressure. Well, I forgot to test it, and I forgot to hook it back up to CO2. So my beer is basically flat. Oh, another thing that throws a wrench into the works is I went with a lager yeast just so we could compare side by side. And I mean, the comparison will have to come later when mine's carbonated. But so you're not going to get any of the banana or clove flavor.
Which yeast did you use? Which lager strain?
833.
Okay.
I think 833. Yeah. I think it still has a fair amount of trub in suspension too.
When did you keg the beer?
When did I keg it?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I think it was when we first were talking about it. I think I kegged it right about then.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So I would expect it. I'll tell you what, I've already dumped about a quart of it because it was clogging the line with everything that fell out of suspension in it. So it's probably still got a ways before it's clear for sure.
But that's not, according to the style, it can be hazy. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah, I was surprised about how much protein and everything that was in the beer.
Oh yeah,
when it
absolutely.
started. I've never worked with rye, at least in this capacity before, using 50%.
Yeah, well, I'll be honest, and I don't know. So I made a starter out of just DME and got the 833 going, and I had to turn the stir plate off because it was coming out of the. I did like a 1 liter starter and a 3 liter flask, and it was coming out the top. And when I made this, I was going to go 15 psi and ferment at 70 degrees. I couldn't. It took off, man. It was blowing out the the spunding valve. I cranked the temperature down like 50. So to be fair to the beer, I took it on a roller coaster ride of temperatures.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
trying to tame it.
Yeah, we'll see. Try not to explode my pressure fermenter.
Right.
Yeah. So it was a bit of a disaster there.
Oh no.
But
So something I noticed when I was brewing mine was the wort was like really viscous. I mean, it was
my gosh, yeah.
It was just like thick. It was almost like motor oil. It was really weird.
It was the slowest sparge I've ever done. It took forever.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah.
They say use rice hulls.
I did. I used a pound.
Yeah, I think I had about a half pound that I just had in my cupboard, and
I'll tell you,
I would do at least a pound next time.
Yeah, I'll tell you, a pound is a lot.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a huge bag of rice hulls.
Yeah, they don't weigh a lot. Yeah.
I was like, I've had this on my thing for on my shelf forever because I bought it and didn't use it. Let's throw the whole thing in there. Yeah, I'm glad I did.
Yeah, it would be.
Yeah.
So I think in mine I'm getting some off flavors like acetaldehyde or something. Maybe it'll clean up a little bit.
Maybe. That's what I was trying to identify. It's good, kind of like a...
Could be a little spice too, I don't know.
Yeah, I was trying to identify there's a harshness towards the end.
And I was wondering if that was like from the true,
yeah,
with the hop particulate or something like that. So we'll have to revisit this one when it lagers a little bit. You guys don't have to drink it.
It's not bad. It's interesting using the cleaner yeast versus the Hefeweizen. Yeah, I think you get a little more of the rye notes stand out versus the mixture of different notes.
Yeah.
But you have that banana.
But it's kind of hard when you don't know what it's going to taste like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Say, maybe I should go with the standard recipe. Okay, so now we have Jesse's beer. Jesse did use the Hefeweizen yeast. Was it WLP 300 as well?
Oh, see, I wrote this down because I knew I'd forget. Yeah, WLP 300. Yep. That is correct.
Yours isn't very highly carved either.
Oh, yeah, see.
Man, I'm glad we had John on, huh?
No kidding.
Hey, sometimes you make good beer, sometimes you learn.
Yeah, well, yeah.
It's definitely clear. Well, it's clearer than mine.
If you don't drink this, I will not be offended.
I mean, it's look at mine compared to John's. Actually, just look at the three of them together. It's like nicely clear, moderately clear, still hazy, mud, silt.
Pretty turbid.
No, I get some clove out and some spice too. It's pretty cold though.
Yeah, I didn't think it was going to be that cold. So, yeah, I don't know what issue I had brewing this, but I was supposed to hit, I think the gravity that I was shooting for was 1053, and this came at 1043.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
That's a big miss.
Yeah, and I have absolutely no idea why. The mash and everything went swimmingly. Everything went great, and I took a gravity, and I'm like, holy crap, I'm 10 points low.
How did it finish?
So, but it finished lower than expected, too, because the 1011 Was he expecting a 10? Well, no, 10-10. So it was right.
10-10, so that's okay.
Yeah. So it was like percentage point low for ABV. But yeah, I don't know what happened. I can't really point to any one thing. So,
just that experience with adjuncts when you use that high
yeah,
percentage in your beer that it can throw your measurements off, especially depending on the crush too. Like,
so I think this one I set my mill super fine for really fine crush. I do brew in a bag.
okay.
So I tried to get make it flour basically, just because I knew if I left it bigger, it was gonna get gummy and kind of mess me up. So I was like, let's grind it up really fine. I can't imagine that would cause a lower gravity. If anything, it would increase the efficiency, right?
Yeah,
So,
I don't know. I can't think of any reason why your gravity would be so far off.
Yeah, it was really weird. So I don't know, unless my pH was like crazy off or something. I don't know if I checked it. I thought I did, but maybe I didn't do it right. Don't know. So
Interesting.
Well, if you're interested in finding out if you can brew our beers better, our recipes will be in the show notes as well.
yeah, absolutely.
So, and I'd be curious to revisit them, later on. I'm not sure if yours would. Do you think yours would age well? Because if the clove would probably, in my experience, the clove tends to go away.
Yeah,
And so does the banana. But
I've never done a Hefeweizen, so I don't know. Well, that's one thing. Is when I was fermenting it, I tried to keep it low. Tried to keep the temp low to try to encourage the clove rather than banana.
Right.
I just figured this would be better with a clove ester phenol.
What was your target temperature on that?
I think I tried to keep it like 63.
Okay.
Yeah. So
That's
which
about
is
where mine was too.
yeah.
Well, maybe we'll have to revisit these. So, John, I think you probably got the gold
Oh, thank you.
well in hand.
Oh, yeah.
First place well in hand. Unless we get some mystery entry at the very last minute.
Yeah, it's still time.
Yeah. So if you're in our club, Brew Brothers of Pikes Peak, we're going to do the Roggenbier judging in conjunction with the holiday ale competition or the holiday beer competition. Deadline will be the end of October. So should we drill John with random questions?
Yeah.
Like maybe some long division?
Wasn't prepared for that. Was told there'd be no math.
So how long have you been brewing?
I've been brewing for, I think, about 5 years now.
Very
I
nice.
started off with a 1 gallon all grain and then worked my way up from there.
And do 5 gallon batches?
Do about
mostly now,
5
or-
and 10.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. And I assume you use a mash tun because you were talking about your sparge.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I use a converted Coleman cooler, batch sparge. So nothing too fancy on the setup.
Yeah,
but it
I'm
works well.
the same way. I generally do. I do brew in a bag sometimes, and it really depends. I mix it up quite a bit, but I like the temperature control I get with a mash, mash tun.
Yeah,
with the
for
cooler.
sure.
You put it in there, wherever it's at, it's there for an hour. Where
Oh yeah, that thing
feels to
it
me
doesn't
like
move. Like it works great for a $30-$40 cooler.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. What's your favorite beer to brew?
Favorite beer? I just kind of like drinking or making drinkable beers. Like most of the stuff I have, classic styles, typically more on the lower ABV side. I love Kolsch's. I've been doing a lot with lagers lately, pale ales, stuff like that. And then, seasonal beers. So I'll do some, darker beers. Like, thinking about, brown ales for the fall, stouts in the winter, whatnot. So, but yeah, I mean, just typically clean, classic type of styles.
Nice. Yeah, I'm kind of all over the place with what I brew. So, and Jesse too. Yeah, we brew a lot of stuff.
Well, I think I'm starting to contract now. I just was thinking about that the other day. I was like, I haven't brewed I can't even remember what I was thinking about. I haven't brewed one of those. I don't know if I really want to, so.
Yeah.
But now I'd kind of like to start focusing on if I can ever figure out my fermentation temperature, just like I'll start doing lagers. So, or whatever. So, but.
Yeah, it's funny for me is that I'm So, like this year, I missed my Oktoberfest. I usually try to do Oktoberfest in March, and I totally forgot about it. But I think I was telling you last year I brewed 3 beers for a friend's wedding, and I noticed their anniversary on the calendar this year. I was like, 2 of those 3 beers are going to be ready in like a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
How'd that happen? I wish I had planned it.
Exactly.
So yeah, and I have a lot of styles that I'd like, or a couple of styles I'd like to really drill down into.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm so wishy-washy. I go all over the place.
I'm always conflicted. Like, do I want to try something new, or do I want to dial in something that I've done before and really refine?
Yeah, and then
Like I went to Hogshead Brewing this past weekend, and now I'm like, oh, I want to brew nothing but English beers.
Yeah.
You know,
Exactly. Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. So
what are you brewing next?
So, I think now a Christmas sale. Now that I know the
Now that you're doing
competition,
that, no, it's
yeah. Well, you gotta get ahead of the game because you said you normally do it at Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I usually do it around Thanksgiving, so I have to move it up a little bit. But other than that, I think it's probably dark beer time here pretty soon. So start getting love brown ales in the fall.
Yep.
So do an American brown recipe I've been working on and get that going.
Nice.
Yeah,
I love brown ales.
Just underrated beer. It's just great.
Oh yeah.
Especially in the cooler weather. It's just
Well, I hate when everyone's like, "Oh, it's dark." Yeah, but that's a color. That's
Yeah.
it's a light beer. It's not going to fill you up. It's a great beer.
Exactly. Yeah, and those nice toasty notes. They're just perfect for fall weather.
Yeah. But I'm the guy who'll drink a milk stout in the middle of August. So.
Yeah, nothing wrong.
Belgian dark strong.
Yeah.
that's a lawnmower beer. Sure, why not?
Well, hey, thanks a lot for coming on the show, John.
Thanks for having me. This has been a blast. So.
Yeah, thanks.
Glad to share my beer with you guys.
Well,
I'm glad you brought a good one.
Always,
you saved us.
Right? We've been like, Roggenbier is awful. Why do people drink this? Crazy Germans?
Yeah. That's why I went historical.
Yeah, there you go.
Exactly, yeah. I can see why it's not popular.
Yeah. It's either this or infected water.
Yeah.
I'll take my chances.
This will get me drunk.
I'll take my chances with the Gerardia. That's okay.
Nice. Cool. Until next time, cheers.
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 Thanks for watching our video. Check out our website at coloradobrewtalk.com for more great content.
While you're there, be sure to leave us a comment or drop us a line with your thoughts.
You can also find us on Facebook and Twitter at CO Brew Talk, or follow the links below. Make sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any future content.
Or episodes. As the case may be.